Phoolan Devi once said in an interview that she'd rather be reborn as an animal than a woman. When she was only 11 years old, man became her biggest nightmare, and the girl was subjected to constant assaults by mostly adult men. But Phoolan didn't break. She fought back, and she became a walking nightmare for these men. Let's talk about it. Phoolan grew up in extreme poverty in rural India. With only 11, she was married off to a 30-year-old man that lived in the village next to the one she was born in. But she couldn't bear the assaults by her husband, so she ran back home. This made her lawless and an easy target. Men could now and did assault the child without fear of repercussion. And even the police arrested her under false charges just to assault her and then let her go again. But everything changed in 1981. After Phoolan had been kidnapped and assaulted by a group of upper caste men, she fled into the ravines of northern India. Everyone thought she would pass away there, but she didn't. With 18, she married the leader of a band of bandits called Vikram. And for the first time, it seemed like maybe the now young woman would finally get a happy end. She even managed to sneak into her old husband's village, beat the man bloody, and set him on a donkey to ride around the village and humiliate him. But her happiness wasn't to be. Vikram was killed, and the villager that orchestrated his death held Phoolan hostage for 3 weeks, where the village man once more assaulted a woman. But Phoolan managed to escape, and 17 months later, she returned to the village with a vengeance. While she was gone, she had become the head of her former husband's outlaw group, and from then on was only called the Bandit Queen. When she returned to the village, she had 22 of the village men shot. This became known as one of India's most controversial revenge massacres, and it made Phoolan famous. There were many men that had hurt her, and they now feared for their lives. But others saw Phoolan as the reincarnation of the goddess Durga, the fierce and protective mother of the universe in Hinduism. Phoolan became India's Robin Hood. She and her group stole money from the rich and gave it to the poor. The police, of course, couldn't let that stand, so they started hunting the group down. This led the police to blow an entire village up, Guloli, after they dropped explosives out of an helicopter. To stop the police from hurting innocent people, Phoolan Devi surrendered herself on the 12th of February 1983, and she did it publicly, on a stage, in front of 10,000 people. She carried with her a painting of the goddess Durga and a picture of Gandhi. She served 11 years in prison. The men that were arrested with her only had to serve 8. Phoolan never even got a proper trial. In 1994, she was set free. After that, she worked as an ambassador of human rights, and she was celebrated as a hero of the poor. And, most importantly to her, she became a fighter for women's rights and equality. From 1996 to 1999, she even got a seat in parliament for a socialist party. In 2001, Phoolan was murdered by a man named Siya Singh Rana. He was the cousin of one of the men that had assaulted her in that village. All in all, more than 10 men had been involved in her murder, but only Seer was found guilty. The other ones didn't even see the inside of a prison cell.